for you.
Okay, I'll do it to my computer. And I am going to link us to Facebook.
Hi, Mickey. I'm so glad you came.
Hi, sorry, I was on mute.
Okay, Kelsey is linking us to Facebook Live.
Preparing live streaming preview. So we're almost there.
Hey, I think we're ready to get started. So, Jukwajre, everyone. Good things are coming today. That's a traditional Gwich'in greeting. So I'm really happy to see all of you. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional land that we're calling in from. I'm calling in from the Dena'ina homelands in Anchorage, and so I'd like to say Chinan to them for being the original stewards of our land in the past and also into today. So we're going to begin with some introductions for Lena and I. We're our hosts today, and we'll be introducing our guests. It's a really quick hour, so we'd like to say that you can leave your introductions and say hello to each other in the chat. We wouldn't have time to do introductions for everyone. So with that, I'll ask Lena to begin.
Dan Hazoon, it's a good day. Lena Benozalio sa uza, tla aloga hutan sa dan sa late Anchorage Lisdo. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lena Jacobs. My Danaka name is Benozalio. I'm originally from Ruby on the Central Yukon River, and I live in Anchorage on the ancestral homelands of the Dena'ina. And I am proud to work with these group of ladies with Native Peoples Action and Native Peoples Action Community Fund to help uplift wellness and host spaces like this. So I just want to say thank you all for joining us today. This is our 8th call now that we've hosted, and these events were really created in response to the pandemic and our need to find creative ways to maintain community and uplift our wellness and connect with one another. So thank you again for joining us and creating this space with us. And if you're just joining us, please know that this call is being recorded and it's also being broadcast on Facebook Live. We'll share the link later if you want to share this with other folks who may not have been able to join us today. And also just another quick housekeeping, if you could keep your computers on mute until we open it up for any dialogue, then that would be great. So thanks again, Basi.
Basi, Dringwenzi, Shojrit Rochelle Adams Oji, Guchajet, Tendu Gwatanisi, Juk Anchorage Gwichi, Shiki Nai Amea Kosot, Atledahan Govojri, Juk Shukuchutukos in Native Peoples Action Community Fund and Indigenous Engagement Coordinator EC. So Juk Jun Shidri Slashroj Masi Nahos Insho EC. So hi everyone, good day. My name is Rochelle Adams. I was raised in the villages of Beaver and Fort Yukon. I'm living here in Anchorage now, where I work with Native Peoples Action Community Fund as the Indigenous Engagement Coordinator. My children are Amea, Koso, and Sedahan. And I also said that my heart is really happy today, and I'm really happy to see all of you here. So again, welcome. Thank you for being here. We're really excited. And thanks to Lena for, talking about that wellness. That really is the heart of these events, how we uplift our wellness and how we do that together as a community. So thank you. And with that, I'm going to hand it back over to Lena to help us to explain what the hour will look like, and then we'll jump into it.
So we're so grateful that Danielle and Cingarkaq agreed to join us today. We're going to give them each 20 minutes to walk us through some wellness activities and share their own wellness practices with us. And if we have time in between or afterwards, we'll open it up for some community engagement, dialogue, Q&A for our other guests to join in with us. And one of the hardest parts of hosting this is to have to be the timekeeper. So I apologize in advance. As Rochelle said, it is a really quick hour. So we'll be the timekeepers, and we'll just either send a private message to you, Danielle or Jinga, to let you know about your time, and then we'll guide us through the next transition. So we're going to start with Danielle. And Danielle, we'd love to invite you to introduce yourself first and guide us through what you have planned for us today.
All right, good afternoon. Happy Thursday, everyone. Danielle Stickman. I am Dinaina and Koyakon Athabaskan. My mom is originally from Nundalton in Bristol Bay, and my dad is from Galena on the Yukon River. And I don't have anything else to add besides like what was in my bio, so I'll just get started. I currently work at the Alaska Conservation Foundation full-time as a network coordinator, and then I create jewelry on the side, and I also teach yoga on the side when I can. But I love being out on the land. And so I'll ask you to do one thing first, is if you are wearing socks, take off your socks. I'm wearing like these really thick alpaca socks, and they're so warm. And I want to share one word. It's called, it's kiet na'i. So kiet na'i means it's saying something in Dinaina. So it's referring to Ethlena, the land. And so I've really been focusing on that word when I go out hiking and when I go out walking, and also in my body. Like, how often do we not listen to our body? And especially at computers all day, I can feel my shoulders rising up and then the tension in my stomach. And so I would like you to close your eyes, take a deep inhale through your nose, exhale out your mouth, inhale through your nose, exhale out your mouth. One more time, inhale through your nose and exhale out your mouth. And if you're sitting in a chair, place both your feet on the ground and lift up your toes. Or if you're not sitting in a chair, just find your grounding with your sits bones, and just kind of move your weight around a little bit so you can find the center space. And so everything is in alignment. Bring your right hand to your belly, left hand to heart. We'll do 3 more breaths, inhaling through the nose, exhaling out the mouth. 2 more times, inhale, exhale. Last time, inhale, exhale. And throughout this practice, thinking of that word, kiet na'i, it is saying something. Listening to your body. Maybe focusing in on what parts of your body feel a little off or maybe needs a little bit more attention today. Feeling the rise and the fall of your chest. Slowly begin to open your eyes. Inhale, arms out wide, reach them up to the sky, and then turn to the right. Bring your left hand to your right knee. Yes. Inhale, back to center, hands up wide. Exhale, turn to the left. Right hand to left knee. Inhale, back to center, and we'll do this 2 more times. Exhale to the left. Inhale, arms up. Exhale. I got my sides mixed up. You know which side you're on. Inhale, arms up. Last one, exhale. Inhale, arms up. And exhale. And move your shoulders a little bit. And if you're, I think we're all sitting. So you're gonna inhale, rounding your spine, bring your chin to chest. And exhale, bring your shoulders back. Look up to the sky. Inhale, round your spine, chin to chest. Exhale, reach up, look up to the sky. And do 3 more on your own. Oops. You inhale, arms up. And then exhale, last one, spin. All right, come back to center. Bring your right hand to the left side of your head and extend. You're extending your hand out and flexing your arm. So you could sit or stand, but make sure that you're not pulling on your head. And switch to the other side. And release. Bring your chin to chest. Left ear to left shoulder. Look up to the sky. Right ear to right shoulder. Chin to chest. And then go back to right ear to right shoulder. Look up to the sky. Left ear to left shoulder. And then chin to chest. Bring your head back to center. Bring your hands to your shoulders and start. I'm gonna have to stand up for this. My chair's moving. Yeah. So move your shoulders around. And then switch directions. And inhale, your arms up wide. And as you bring your elbows down, come into goddess pose and really stretch out that upper back. And then move that energy forward, kind of pushing water. And then lift up your arms back up. And then bring your hands down, your elbows down. Really engage. And then like you're pushing water, pushing something forward. Last one. Bringing those elbows down. And release. And bob your shoulders up and down a little bit. Bring your shoulders up to your ears. And then bring your shoulder blades together. 2 more times going forward. Inhaling as you go up, exhaling as you bring them down. Inhale. Exhale. Last one forward. And then reverse the direction, bringing them back. and forward. 3 times. And after your third one, release your shoulders down, and then extend your arms out wide and bring your right arm underneath your left. It's hard to see because I'm wearing black. And then you could hold them like this or bring the palms of your hands together. And slowly bring it up to the sky, arching your back. And then rounding the spine, folding forward. We'll do that 2 more times, remembering to breathe, listening to your body, reaching up to the sky. Exhaling. And last time. And then bringing it forward. Exhaling it out. And extend your hands out wide, your arms out wide. Inhale, exhale, bring that left arm underneath the right. And then you could keep it at the backs of your hands or bring your palms together. Inhale, look up to the sky. Exhale, round, folding forward, rounding your spine. Kietna-i. It is saying something, listening to your body. Link forward, and we've got one more. And release. Release your arms. Do a little movement. And then if you have, I've got like a scarf here, or you could use your t-shirt. But so you're gonna bring your right arm underneath and your left hand overhead. So you could grab a scarf, or you could clasp your hands. So inhale, exhale. Maybe see if you could release any tension in your jaw or any tension in your shoulders, in your back. And then release and switch sides. And inhaling, exhaling. And exhaling. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. And exhale. Release your hands. Release your shoulders, maybe move them a few times. And then the next one is with our hands. So interlace your hands, extend them forward, and then up to the sky. Slowly turn to the right or your left. Come back to center. Release your hands down and do some wrist rotations. And then do the opposite pinky up front. Bring your hands out. Inhale them up. And exhale, turn to the other side. Release back to center, release your hands, do some wrist twists. And then bring your hands to prayer position. And then slowly point them down. And then bring the backs of your hands together. So we're doing like a fluid motion. We spend so much time at the computer or holding our little phones that we forget about our wrists. And then switch direction. All right. And then bring your hands together again like this, interlacing them, and kind of make I don't know what shape this is. And then switch. All right, and your fingers are still interlaced. Keep them interlaced. Brooke knows this, what I'm going to do next. I think some of you guys know this. So interlace your fingers and create waves and really get your shoulders into it. And imagine that you're on the Yukon River or the Kuskokwim or the ocean or Bristol Bay, and then reverse the direction. You're out there fishing, and then you have to grab the net. So you're gonna grab the net, and I'm gonna show what I'm doing. So you gotta pull in the net. So you gotta take one arm at a time, pulling all the fish in. So one at a time. And try to engage all those muscles that you can. Pulling the net in. All right, you got the net in, you gotta flick the water off your fingers. So flicking the water off your fingers. And do a few wrist movements because you're gonna start cutting the fish. And you're gonna fillet. So as you're going to fillet, you bring your right arm across and then, just doing a little bit more stretching to start filleting. And hold it there. And then you do one clean cut across, and then do the opposite side with your left arm. All right, and then one clean cut across. And then you fillet the fish 3 times on one side and 3 times on the other. And then you have to throw it up to the seagulls that go caw and go caw. And then you have to carry the fillets and hang them on the drying rack. So you have to carry them, hang them on the drying rack very gently, hanging them on the drying rack. And you look back and look at your nice work. And then you look on the other side and you say thanks. And then we're gonna become the salmon. So you're gonna start at the headwaters in the ocean where you just were in the boat, but now you're the fish. Now you're the fish, and you gotta go to the left away from a bear and go to the right from a little fisherman. And then you're gonna go up, up, up a waterfall, and then you can't make it. And then you try again and you go up and you go over. And so you're getting closer to the headwaters. You go to the left one more time, go to the right. Got all these scars and you're making it home. You make it to the headwaters. So in 3, 2, 1, we'll clap. 3, 2, 1, clap. Cover your eyes, or you could take off your glasses. Feel that energy go down your body. Release your hands down. Come back to your chair. Do one last exercise to bring us back. So bring your right hand, so your index finger and your middle finger, to the middle of your forehead, keeping both feet grounded on the ground. So the ring finger will go on the left side of the nostril. The thumb will go on the right. Close the right side. Inhale through the left side of your nostril. Close the left, open the right, exhale out the right. Inhale through the right. Inhale through the left. Close the left, exhale out the right. Inhale through the right. Close the right and exhale out the left. Release your hand down. Maybe swallow. Inhaling through your nose. Exhaling out your nose. Kiet na I. It is saying something. Inhale. Gently start to open your eyes. Exhale. Inhale your arms out wide. Look up to the sky. Give thanks. Exhale. Bring your hands to your forehead and bring your thumbs to outline your eyebrow. Do some pressure. And do that 3 times. Reminding us to have clear and kind thoughts. Bring our hands to our mouth center to remind us to have clear and kind communication. And bring our hands to our heart center to remind us to have clear and kind intentions. Kiet na I. It is saying something. Chin on. Wait, how much time do I have left?
You timed that perfectly. You were exactly at 20 minutes and 30 seconds. Oh, Basi, Danielle, I love that so much. And I felt my body releasing stuff that I didn't even know I was holding on to. I have this unconscious stuff, and you really helped me release that. I felt like I wanted to cry, and I really felt the community with all of you guys, seeing us work through these motions together. So thank you so much, Anabasi.
Shannon, thank you.
Yeah, Masicho, Chinan, Anabasi. That felt really good. And I also feel that connection, and it feels so good. So we have a few minutes here before we move on to Cingarkaq. So does anyone have any comments, anything they'd like to share that they felt while practicing with Danielle? Now is the time to share. I see a lot of sharing in the comments section happening. Yeah. Okay. So with that, we'd like to move on to our next guest. So our next guest is Cingarkaq Pavila, and I'll let her introduce herself. Thank you so much for being here, Quiana. So I'll give it over to you, Masi. I think you're muted still.
Waka, can you?
Uh-oh, she disappeared.
Oh, I think she got disconnected. We'll wait a minute for her to jump back on, hopefully. Yeah, but that felt so good, Danielle. I really love that one where you do the salmon. Like, that's one of my favorites. I remember we did it at the Just Transition Summit, and it was a huge group of us, and I think Winona LaDuke was there too. It was really exciting.
I know I want to integrate some different animals into it, and like birds and everything else, because birds are just so majestic and they're so good for the arms and getting some of the stuff out up here. But I love the salmon and imagining. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's perfect timing for that as well.
Mm-hmm. Shannon.
Can you tell us a little bit about your practice, like where you learned to do this, and maybe if you have any advice or tips for folks who might be interested in learning how to integrate this as part of our daily or weekly wellness plans?
Yes. So I got I started out with aerial yoga. Have you guys heard of that? With like the silks from the ceiling,
Oh,
go upside down. I got a 25-hour certificate with that, and then a 300-hour here in town. And it was focused on Ayurveda, which is like integrating it into your whole life. And it includes like what kind of foods you eat and how it helps, what kind of how your body is what your body is mainly made up of like the different components. And then I got a 200-hour in India last year. And I used to teach at Namaste North. I haven't taught online. There's quite a few good online resources available. I know Open Space does hip openers at 7 p.m. on Thursdays. So tonight is like, I think she's doing at 7 p.m. tonight, and Namaste North does free classes. Yeah, and it's just checking in with your body. And I don't do this either. Like I'll just sit at my computer and try to get a task done and don't like not use the bathroom. And that's not listening to my body. So it's just like that word kietna'i, it's saying something. The earth is saying something to us, and our bodies are always saying something. So I think just listening to your body of what we need. I think you're back on. Yeah.
Back on. Okay, welcome back. So we'll hand it over to you.
I apologize, guys. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but can you
No
guys hear me?
problem. Yeah, you're fine.
Okay, awesome. Waka, my name is Cingarkaq Pavila. I am from Mamterishak, also known as Bethel. I grew up there with my mother, Elena Leinberger, but I mainly was raised at fish camp by my grandparents, Elena Pavila and Alexi Pavila from Atmaushok and Gasigluk. Cingarkaq means one to be kissed. I enjoy sharing that. As a kid, I got chased around, kids saying, Jingami, Jingami. And Yupik was my first language, so I really focus on trying to instill my culture into my yoga practice. I did prepare more of a conversation or talking about my yoga journey today, so I will be talking more than Danielle. I really hope that's okay with you guys, and then we'll move on to a very short movement. but I wanted to share that the traditions in my Yupik culture are a huge part of my life and something I want to incorporate into my teachings. I started practicing in 2014. I was introduced to yoga because I was going through a very difficult time in my life, struggling with alcohol, depression. I was in a very unhealthy
We're having an
relationship.
earthquake. Oh, sorry to interrupt. Ooh.
My cats noticed.
I think we're still shaking. Sorry to interrupt.
That's okay. I thought it was my
Oh, feel that? Oh,
Did you feel that in Girdwood, Mickey? Yeah? Oh my goodness.
oh, okay.
Should I continue?
Yeah, is everyone okay? Y'all all right?
Good thing we just did a relaxing
Yeah.
activity.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a little
Yeah,
bit
this
scary.
is good. Yeah.
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 You can hear it coming. Wow. Okay. Okay, I think we need to calm our nerves and everyone just take a collective breath together.
Yes.
And we're safe, we're okay. So I think with that, I think we're okay to move on if you feel okay.
I do feel okay as long as you guys are okay. I didn't notice it too much. I'm not sure if it's where I'm at right now, but it felt just a very slight shake. But everyone's doing okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I just wanted to come back to how I began yoga. I was struggling pretty hard in 2014. Alcoholism has been a hard, troubling time in my family, and I struggled with bad scoliosis, unhealthy relationship, and my friend convinced me to go to a yoga class. I didn't like it at first, and I really hated how much emotion was coming out of my body and how much clarity I started having in my life. And the yoga mat really showed me the dark situation that I was in and encouraged me to clean up my life. Yoga quickly became an important part of my life, and I learned that movement was my best medicine. And not the kind of movement where I was running away from everything and running away from my emotions or my feelings, but the kind of movement where I learned to really connect with myself, my body, my trauma, and my culture, and especially my language. And alcohol was just used and so heavily, it tore our family apart. My grandparents taught me as much as they could about our traditions and our livelihood, but alcohol was still there, and it still is, and it's became more apparent as I've gotten older. I started learning about my childhood trauma and how I was affected in so many ways by alcohol, silencing the trauma, silencing the fight in our family, and the slow loss of our connection to our culture and due to our elders passing away due to the alcohol addiction in my family. And this trauma aspect hit pretty hard for me. I became very passionate about healing my depression and working through the trauma that I was exposed to. I went back to the doctor after 1 to 2 years checking on my scoliosis, and he was just so shocked that I pretty much reversed my scoliosis, cured my back, and no longer had to get surgery. This was the moment in my life that I truly realized how much of a positive impact yoga has had in my life, whether it's on my body, my mental health, and the cleanliness I started having in my lifestyle. I used my media accounts for a while to share about my practice, my journey, my culture, my childhood, hoping to inspire people all around Alaska to connect with themselves and work with their own depression, their own trauma, and their own addiction. And in 2018, I decided to spend some time in northern India north of Dharamshala in the Himalayan mountains, where I received my 200-hour teacher certification. And while I was in India, I felt so connected to my own culture, even though I was so far away. And I found so many similarities in the values of the yoga practice and the Eastern religion with our own Alaska Native traditions. And traditionally, our Yupik people believed in a spiritual religion and practice. Yupik means the real person. And to me, this means being true to your identity, being pure in your actions, and being one with our land and our animals. And in yoga, we practice stillness, and in our culture, we believe to be present with our tasks, be quiet when we are hunting or subsisting in respect for the land and the animals. This value has instilled such a great dietary habit in my life as well, to make an effort to try to eat as many plant-based and organic foods as possible, eating food that nourishes me energetically, spiritually, respecting the animals. And for so long, I've prioritized eating mainly native meats gathered by family or people I know who have respect for the animals, and eating clean. Greens from the land, trying to forage and harvest when I can, whether it's berries or dandelions or spruce tips. In that sense, there's a few Yupik words that I would love to share with you guys today. The first one being Jalrijarak. It means to live healthy. And to me, living healthy not only means to eat healthy in these ways I was just talking about, but also to live healthy in the mind, to rebuild the way that we think, to create healthier outlooks in life that we can share with others and be supportive in healthy growth and transformation. Being healthy in a way that we nurture our bodies by moving and breathing, so that way we can continue to feel strong and capable to do traditional activities, singing, dancing, fishing, helping our family with chores, and being able to live a long, healthy life so we can continue our language and traditions for generations on. And another Yupik word I would like to share with you is Menuijakak. I can write these in the comments as well so you guys can see how they're spelled afterwards. But Menuijakak means living clean. And when we live clean and pure, when we eat clean, when we drink clean, but also clean up our lives, we have the energy and the strength to help our family to live a more pure life. Eating more traditional foods, drinking versus indulging in processed foods and soda. In Sanskrit, amala is the word for clean and pure. So there's so many connections that I have learned between this yoga practice, these values, and their philosophy within our own native tradition. And it's my passion to kind of combine the two. Living a clean life is possible and has been my biggest goal. And although I fall into funks where I can be impure and have destructive behaviors like I have in the past, my yoga mat has been my home. It's been that space for me to recenter and come back to my true self. It's given me the opportunity to heal so much trauma, continues to heal me every day. So last year I decided to study TCTSY yoga, which stands for Trauma Center Trauma Sensitive Yoga, which is a program of the Center of Trauma and Embodiment. And I've been very passionate about this therapeutic work with yoga being an adjunctive treatment to complex trauma and complex post-traumatic stress disorders. But complex trauma, just to give you a little background, it's an exposure to multiple traumatic events versus trauma is one singular identifiable event. So I felt called to this specific type of therapy and trauma because of how complex my childhood trauma growing up in rural Alaska was, and feel it can be used as a tool to reconnect to ourselves with our bodies and also our culture and our identity. I'm currently working on my 500-hour certification, then hope to devote more of my life to this intertwining between this practice and our culture and our traditions. And a dream I've had for so long is to travel all throughout Alaska, work with children, people struggling with addiction, depression, sexual abuse, domestic violence, or any traumatic experiences we experience in rural Alaska. And I believe the education that I'm working towards in yoga teachings can help make these things happen. And I just really wanted to stress how important healing trauma is and how we can really intertwine the culture and our traditional values with being on the yoga mat, because often people may think that yoga is only an Eastern practice or anything that is too spiritual, too different. And when in all reality, it really is so intertwined with our own personal culture. But I will finish off with that. I know we kind of cut off a little bit of short time. That's okay. Danielle gave us some really delicious movements. Thank you. I really enjoyed the fish analogies too. But we'll go through just a few movements to finish off for the last 5 minutes. If you guys can come into a seated position, anything comfortable. Whether it's in your seat, you can definitely be in your seat. One thing I would recommend, if you are in your seat, if you're able to sit cross-legged, that's great. If not, you can use your desk for support. But what I'm going to start off with is just a yummy movement. It's called Sufi Grind. This is a Kundalini-inspired movement. You can watch me the first time, but what we're going to do is act as if our torso is a ladle in a big pot of fish head soup. So what we're going to do is inhale when you lean forward, using your hands as guidance. Exhale when you lean back, curling your spine, coming in one direction the first time. Inhale, exhale. Maybe closing your eyes so you can come more in tune with your body. Making those movements large, maybe coming back onto your sits bone slightly as you exhale. Getting all the edges of that pot of soup in there. Maybe making sure the fish eggs swirl around in the soup pretty nicely. We're going to come to center and just turn around, going the other way. Keeping those movements big. Really curling your spine on your exhale. Keeping your core tightly engaged. Once you come back to center, just take a big inhale. Exhale loudly. One more time. We're going to come on to all fours next. So if you guys aren't familiar, this is, we're doing a variation of cat and cow pose. So you want your shoulders above your wrists and your hips above your knees. You can either have your toes curled in or flat on the floor. But on your inhale, we're going to slightly shift our gaze forward without moving our spine. We're going to just suck our navel up to the sky without moving our back. We're keeping that length in our spine. And on your exhale, bringing that chin gaze inward, curling that spine, the navel higher into the back without moving your spine. We're just really working on lengthening our spine and engaging our core. So again, on the inhale, gaze comes up. Exhale, gaze comes in. On the next one, we're really going to bring that spine flexion in there. So on your inhale, dipping your navel to the ground while also sucking it up to the sky and engaging. Exhale, curling the spine. Do that 2 more times on your own. Next, we're going to bring our right foot on the inside of our right hand. So coming here, we're in a low lunge. You want your knee above your ankles. And for your back foot, you can have it either toes curled in or on the top of your foot. If you've got your foot on the flattened out, just make sure you're not sickling your foot inward. So really keep that back leg strong. Engage your core. On an inhale, bring the arms up to the sky. On an exhale, we're going to release any tension or anger or trauma that we're holding on. So big inhale, exhale, sweeping down to the ground. Inhale, coming back up to the sky. Exhale, let that energy out. Do this 3 times on your own. Inhale, coming back into center. We're going to switch sides. So coming back onto our hands, switching our feet. You can come back to all fours as your transition, and then bring your left foot inside of your left hand. Again, making sure you're double checking your form, making sure your knees are above your ankles, making sure that back foot isn't sickling, engaging your core. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, let it go. Two more times on your own. Coming back to center, feeling strong. We're going to come back onto the ground by coming onto all fours. Let's come into a seated, comfortable position. Bringing our palms to our heart. Closing your eyes, let's dip our chin into our chest. I'm going to do a prayer similar to Danielle's, so I was very excited to hear hers. Let's bring our palms to our head, forehead. May all that we think be pure. Bring your palms to your lips. May all that we speak be pure. And bring our palms to our heart center. May all that we give and receive from our hearts be pure. Namaste. Thank you so much, guys. I think I went 1 minute over. Sorry to have slowly rushed that.
Yeah, no, Kriana, thank you so much. That was amazing. And we do apologize for the quick 1 hour. I think maybe I can speak for everyone, but I feel really good. I feel so grounded and centered and connected, and it feels great. So thank you so much, Kriana. Masi cho to everyone. Thank you for being here. And we want to invite you to come, everyone to come back next week on the 25th. We'll be back. So with that, Quiana, and we'll see you next week.
Yes.
Brianna, guys.
Thank you guys both so much. And thank you for sharing your truth and your vulnerability and your healing story with us. I love hearing those stories of how people are working through their traumas and sharing that practice with others for our communal wellness. So to both of you again, Anabasi, for sharing your gifts with us.
Shannon for hosting.